Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we have my boosted Chopper and Hero Look teams to take down the 10-star Kizuna against Wapol. And we're going to start it off with the Psy variation. Now, I didn't pull Dr. Correa, so if you can find a way to put her on the team, that's going to work nicely. Basically, she can remove bind, she can remove the healing turn to damage, as well as give you 3 turns of an all buff. So a great character that she just replaced on this particular team is something like Robin and Koala. You guys are missing Hero Look himself. He's really not essential on this particular team at all, really, actually, now that I'm looking at it. He doesn't really provide all that much. I think he's our conditional booster for this team, but like I said, it's much of a muchness. But over on the side variation, you get Paralysis on stage 2, 1 turn of Special Reverse, and a full board of Recovery Orbs, I believe. Or maybe that's a different variation. Oh, you get Pain. You get 7 turns of Pain, which Chopper removes as a captain. It's probably the greatest thing about the unit. Just completely removing 10 turns of Pain is very, very nice. On this particular fight, we're going to use our Kid Killer, Super Swap, and Special on turn 2. We're also going to use our Chopper Friend Captain first, because Kid Killer can actually give 2 turns of cooldown, as well as give 3 turns of a chain boundary and a color affinity buff. This is a really, really nice addition to the team, because then you can carry that chain multiplicative buff into the final stage with the Chopper tapping, and then with that chain boundary that Kid Killer gives. On the final stage, your captains get binded, enemies immune to everything except for paralysis, tack down below a certain chain threshold, and I believe you can't use any chain boundary specials on this final stage as well. So you kind of need a way to either remove that with something like Shiroshi Manchuri, or you could just utilize a 3-turn chain boundary unit. We're going to use the Robin Koala special here for an orb buff. After level 30, there is an intimidation for attack and orb boosting, so you do want to bring characters that do at least 3 turns of that. And with the Hero Look unit, you can actually use 3 turns of attack boosting, and then that way you can get the conditional boost for paralysis as well. But you can also use Luffy and the support of Usopp. That's going to give you a conditional boost as well, and a little bit of a 1.5 buff. Luffy's also a bigger base attack booster than Chopper is, so you can just use all of the Chopper shenanigans to buff Luffy's base attack, and then use the Hero Look attack boost later down the line. But the team works very, very well. It has a lot of damage, has a lot of buffing. You get the double Chopper proc. It all works out very, very well, and very, very nicely. So that's the team versus Psy variation. There is death damage, but you just end up getting so much healing anyway that it actually doesn't matter. That's, like I said, that's Psy. Now we move on to Quick, and this one was a bit of a doozy, to be honest, because trying to make Chopper work with Ace was very challenging, and trying to make Chopper work with Roger was also very challenging. So I said, stuff it. I'm going to use Shanks. Shanks is just so good for pretty much all these fights, because he can remove Bind, he can remove Hunger, he can remove Intimidation. He just does so much for the team. But with this particular team, we are using Kid Luffy. We're going to use him on turn 1 and hit 2 perfects every turn. That's going to get some chain shenanigans on the final stage, and it's also going to give us a nice chunky orb buff. Luffy's also very valuable because he buffs both Chopper Superclass and the Shanks EX, so it's a nice little carryover there. On turn 2 of the Quick variation, you get Hunger on the second turn, a full board of Recovery Orbs, and Recovery Orbs do damage, plus I believe there is some bind on the left-hand column. So make sure you are maxing Hunger out, or you got 3 units that have Hunger on this team, but like I said, if you are using Dr. Correa, you can just replace Bong Punch with Dr. Correa. Bong Punch on this particular team is only giving a chain boost, so you can just straight replace them. The Dr. Hero Look is our 3-turn attack booster, so as you can see, we're using all of our Sailor specials on turn 2, because once we hit level 30 plus, you get Sailor to spare and you can't use them anyway. So if you don't have Hero Look, just bring a 3-turn attack booster, that's someone that works for the team. Ideally someone that's going to trigger the Chopper EX as well. Head over to the database, filter by attack boosting, and you guys should be able to find something there. As you can see, I literally just pop everything on the final stage on turn 2. I literally just, I don't save anything, which is kind of nuts. You can save a Chopper special for the final stage to get around the defense up if you're missing the Sabo support. However, I just threw Kid Sabo on Luffy, and that way we get around the 2 turns of defense up on the final stage anyway. I believe it's only 1 turn, and you can only use 2 specials on the final stage too, so like I said, I just used everything, but you could save a base attack boost of Chopper for the final stage. Plus, if you use too many buffs and you don't hit 2 perfects on stage 2, you will find out that you don't get that carryover of Luffy. So make sure you guys are hitting 2 perfects there. The final variation is the Int variation. And funny enough, this one actually turned out to be one of the hardest if you don't have Dr. Correa. If you have Dr. Correa, it's actually very, very simple because you can remove the recovery turn to damage debuff. And if you do have Dr. Correa, you just literally put her in the team over Shiroshi Mancherry. That's going to work out absolutely fine. But if you don't, it's going to be a little bit challenging for your team, as you do need to deal with a bunch of poison. You take poison damage, you take HP cuts, you take death damage. So you do need to be able to tank a lot of shots whilst not being able to heal at the same time. So I did bring Shiroshi Mancherry on this particular team, hoping I could remove that. But funny enough, I actually couldn't because the heal triggers first and you will just straight die. With Hiruluk, he also heals. And unfortunately, we're not at a particular point where our HP is above 20,000. So you will die utilizing the Hiruluk special on the final stage. So I am just going to remove the burn on turn 3, utilize the Shank special to get around the bomb mobs and the barrier, and make our way to the final stage, and just rely on Luffy's revive to tank that first healing to damage. Now, obviously, we don't have a way of triggering the EX. When you kill turn 2, you take 30,000 damage. When you enter the final stage, you get a 50% HP cut. You also get poison, which is 3k per unit, so it's an 18k poison. So even if you are at a very good HP threshold like myself, you're still going to take a lot of damage from not only the Hiruluk heal, but also the Chopper heal. So even if you're above that 20,000 initially, you are going to sort of fall below that after Chopper goes. So Hiruluk will deal 20,000 healing. You do need to make sure you bring someone to remove that despair, otherwise you will not get the revive. And the way that I rock this, like I said, I use Hiruluk. He actually has the overheal from Shiroshi Mancherry to get that conditional. It's a big upside to using Shiroshi Mancherry on the team. We can then use Chopper to remove the poison. We do take some damage, but that's okay, because then we can use our Luffy special to give ourselves color affinity and an orb buff for our Psy Free Spirit fighter units. Now, everyone on this team besides Hiruluk is a Free Spirit or a fighter, or a Psy unit, obviously. But Luffy only gives the color affinity to Free Spirit characters, not fighters. Actually, now I'm looking at it, Chopper doesn't get the orb boost either. Unfortunate that Luffy only does Psy and Free Spirit, but look, it's much of a notchness. We just really need that revive. And this is kind of like the best thing I could come up with, utilizing, well, not having Correa. But if you guys don't have Hiruluk, just replace Hiruluk with Rockstar or some other unit that can remove despair, and that's going to work out hunky-dory too. But there you guys go. They're my boosted teams for the 10-star Kazuna against Wapol. Let me know what you guys are using if you guys summon it. If you guys have any other requests for this content, let me know in the comment section below. But while you're down there, build the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.